Hello everyone, it's Mischa Bur on your screens, and we have an amazing episode of our show today. We came over here to Baden-Württemberg to meet the VD AluSysteme Dietrich GmbH company. These guys over here make terraces, aluminium carports and other things. These here are our guys who have founded a company that manufacture all these products that boast the German quality for the whole of Germany. Let's find out who they are. How did they get to a turnover of 30 million euro in 5 years? And what is the secret of their success? Believe me, this is going to be an exciting episode. Stay with us until the end, and I'm sure the story will motivate you. Let's go. The starting capital was 3,000, and back then it was a lot of money. Run fast, count well. To be successful is cool, and to work is also cool, and in Germany it's possible. This country offers great opportunities. You said, I enjoy paying taxes. Tell us please, how you can enjoy it? This is a dangerous game. It's not for everyone. It may end. Mikhail, I think the one who doesn't take risks is the one who risks more. What are the first 3 pieces of advice for new entrepreneurs? For the first 3 years, forget about free time, forget about your headaches. If you need to get up at 5, get up at 4. We get up talking about work and go to bed talking about work too. Victor, welcome. So let's start from the beginning. Tell us about your journey here in Germany. When did you move to Germany? What year was it? It was 2004. Okay. What were your first steps? Did you sign up for language courses or did you go to work? How was it? The very first months. I was 13 years old, so I went to school. Alright. So you finished school. What happened next? I completed vocational training in the field of electronics and cars. And at that time, I didn't see being self-employed as an option for me. So I decided to find a job in the industrial sector. I hoped for a big career in the industry, but at some point I was told that I was going to hit the ceiling and that would be it in no uncertain time. So you see, you are 27, you aim high and you feel that it shouldn't end there. So after you graduated, you got a job, you went to work in employment, right? Yes. Can you say that your experience as an employee at least gave you an understanding of how this whole sphere works from the inside? Of course, definitely. I genuinely believe that before one starts a small or medium-sized businesses, even more so, if we are talking about a large one needs to go through this part of the way as an employee. I think it's also important to understand and know how to manage your staff and know how to put yourself in the place when needed. Well, it's just I sometimes meet folks who very proudly say we have never been in anyone's employment, and I think, well, no, in fact, you are right. Being in someone's employment doesn't have any disadvantages. On the contrary, there are advantages. You don't risk anything, you learn and you get paid for it, right? Right. And I think that it is necessary to see the business from the other side. This is one experience that it is impossible to buy, only to acquire. How long have you worked in employment and what level have you reached? I worked in employment for almost 8 years. I started as a simple worker at an assembly line of ventilation motors. And I left there as the head of a department consisting of 120 people. When I left the industry, I was already making somewhere around 6,500, 6,300 gross. And per year, about 70,000 per year. Gross in total. Yes. So you understood that it would be difficult for you to make the next career leap and you decided to start your own business. Was it like that? Yes, it was difficult, but once you say that you're doing it, I remember it was 11 p.m. I handed in my notice and I had a night shift. When I turned it in, I put it in the box. I realized that I was not able to get it back. So the starting capital was 3,000 and back then it was much. During 6 months' time, we already had 3 teams, 12 people. We discovered a great potential in this segment. 9 months later, we launched our product. So in the very beginning, it was just sales. Yes, sales and installation. Okay. And then you expanded, investing the money you had earned. You were able to develop further So you started your own production, right? Yes. So that you would not depend on the supplier, but would be able to see what the market needs to adapt quickly. Yes, that's exactly how it was. At some point, we decided to expand it even further. I think the biggest success was the right choice of employees who are stronger than me to some extent in their areas. How has the company changed in the 5 years? A lot. We have become a leading manufacturer. I said we are the best in the market. We have a turnover of 30 million and 118 employees, and we have the largest product palette in our segment. Victor, can you please tell us more about what you're doing now? What precisely is your segment? Today, VD AluSysteme Dietrich GmbH is transitioning to outdoor living products. That includes aluminium systems, terraces, carports, glazing, and winter gardens. Today, our company is the leading producer on the market and has the largest product palette in this segment. When I decided that I needed to change something and to move on, it was very important for the business to have a short-term business, not long-term. We have 8 teams in the regions now. We complete 8 projects per day. This is fast money, fast business. That was the first thing. The second, how I chose this segment. I was building my second home at that time, so I needed precisely this kind of thing. It was not so difficult and quite affordable, and I said I would do that. I would move in this direction. But did you have a business plan? Did you do the math? Or you were just thinking, I did like the sphere and I would go for that? Well, math, it was my favorite lesson, and sports as well. Run fast, count well. Yes, it was all calculated. I sold things myself at first. I sold more than 1,000 projects. And I was also doing the installations. The guys would be doing the installations while I was doing the sales. And I was afraid to give away the sales to the manager, but when I understood that they did it better than me, then I let them go. We sold it out, and at the moment, they have very good figures. Sounds great. So you buy metals or some separate components, right? Yes, aluminium is purchased on the stock exchange like gold. We process it at Asian markets. All components, we have 1,900 plus items. It's mostly produced in China. So assembly happens here. Absolutely. We buy clean, unprocessed material, and here everything is processed at a fairly high level. What is the minimum price for a terrace, for example? Of course, it depends on the size and so on, but still, what is the price? I'll probably say the smallest product starts from 3,000, and there is no upper limit. A carport starts from 8 to 12K. Do show us what you've got here. How long does it take to build such a warehouse? We built it in 4.5 months. 4.5? Yes, very fast. Cool. It takes longer to organize the products inside. You have the AluSysteme logo everywhere. Yes, everywhere you look, you will always see the logo. Why? Because it's ours, so that everyone knows the manufacturer. Yes, it's like when we say Coca-Cola, everybody knows what it is, but they still advertise. We want to be recognized at first glance. I know that your wife, Lyubov, works with you and is in charge of, what is the exact job title? Chief accountant. Okay, she's the chief accountant. What is your secret of success? How to make it work in the longer term? My wife has been with me since the first day, and any decision I made, it was made with respect, with belief in each other. Today, I think, we get up talking about work and go to bed talking about work too. We have 3 children who are also involved in the company despite their younger age. How do you keep that long-term fabled work-life balance? How is it possible not to get constantly tired when your company is growing? Yes, there is one rule. Unless there is some life or death situation, Sunday is always work-free. This is a day for the family. Those who haven't tried to work in a team in our company, they don't have a clue what it's like. It's different from just seeing each other at home. It's a dangerous game. It's not for everyone. It can end. At the same time, you say that you are happy to listen to your wife as a person who is responsible for money. In this regard, you are flexible, so you understand that she is the one in charge of money, so you don't twist her arms, do you? You don't push your decisions through. No, why should I? There are clear rules, I guess. This is what creates the right atmosphere, a healthy balance, so to speak. It was never easy at all. At first, I always waited for the time when things would get easier, but then I realized that waiting is useless. Looking back, the most difficult period was when our children were very young. Our first two children are just 1 year apart, and it was the integration period for me in Germany. I had to learn the language and to adapt. My husband was still employed at his company back then. He was installing straight ceilings. And I remember even then I was trying to help with advertising. I remember we were making ads together. We tried to take some photos for the ads. We always wanted to work together as a team. So when he started the company, I knew that I also wanted to be part of it. Our youngest daughter was just 1 year old at that time. She was always with me until she got old enough for kindergarten, and somehow we started to walk this path together. Is it difficult to hold all of it together? Yes, it's hard, but I think that in our situation it's very important, because now, looking back and thinking of everything we have been through, I realized that if I hadn't been with him here, I don't know how long we would have lasted as a couple, because I would not have seen him at all. What was the most difficult thing when you started your business here in Germany? Judging by how fast we have grown, we have never had any problems with finances, thank God. We have always been financially reliable, and through this, we have won over the trust of suppliers. We don't work with anyone on a prepaid basis, not even with China. It's cool. We have a warehouse in China, which is constantly loading. We have people on site. But I think the most difficult thing was to make a decision about your first bank loans. Yes, the first loan we took was the building where we are now, 1.2 million. At that time, the company had a turnover of about 3.5 million. What was the interest rate? I think it was around 1.9. So it was 4 years ago, 2.5 years ago. We were making very good returns. Yes, by returns, I mean the company's revenue before tax. And today we have improved them even more. Even though it happens often that the company's turnover increases, but the income decreases, we have managed to reduce the personnel costs, the procurement costs, the latter thanks to having a very capable procurement department. And all of that to make our numbers grow so that our clients feel comfortable when they come here. See, you came in, you liked it. When I am asked, look, why are you a bit more expensive than the others? I always say we focus on quality. You like it here, don't you? Yes, we do. We say in Germany that when you start your own business, the first 3 years you have to forget about loans. Correct me if I'm wrong. And do you know why? Because the first 3 years, people are in the red. Yes, they write it off as contributions to the company. Yes, some are contributions, but if we don't know our income, I often ask companies, how much do you earn with this product? I mean, I earn this much, I spend this much, calculate the energy consumption, the personnel cost, set aside some funds for claims and refunds. I think that one should really take financial literacy seriously. I have devoted the whole of 2025 to educating myself about our tax system, our holding structures, about how you can legitimately and officially minimize taxes. Many people say that they do not want to grow anymore because they will have to pay more taxes then. This is illogical, simply illogical. There is a fixed interest rate. When you start out, what you should think about is now how to pay less taxes, but how to be lucrative to banks, right? Because then you can count on cheap money, which you secure in loans. Was that your thinking? Our thinking was that each month we had to have a record turnover. If I saw what we were not making it didn't make me happy. This is one thing. The next thing is that at the end of the year, when we closed our books, we had to see the percentage ratio to the previous year. Yes, in terms of numbers, we should have been always better than previous year in percentage-wise. We're not talking about numbers, but And of course, the internal structure of the company is the best confirmation for the bank that there is a future here. My tax advisor used to tell me, Victor, you are growing fast, you're making big steps, and I would say, no, we're making quick steps but frequent. That means being able to present yourself in the right way on the outside and to have the right structure on the inside, the right kind of procurement department, the right kind of sales department, and then everything works. I heard you saying we enjoy paying taxes. Tell us, please, how can you enjoy paying taxes? Well, if I pay 2 million in taxes, it means we have earned a proportionate amount, even if the tax rate is 47%. Say, if we earned 1 million after tax, then overall we earned 2 as a company. If we pay 2 million in taxes, it means we earned 4. But this is my personal opinion, of course. I learned to let go of money as long as I understand where it goes. This is a healthy direction. It's not unlike investment. Of course, it would be better if we could invest this money in the company, but I believe that our large tax payments is the complement to our good work. What is our trademark advantage? We try to completely eliminate the human factor or error. When we receive an order from a client, we say immediately, we take from the 3rd, the 6th, the 9th. This way we won't mix up the glass type or take a wrong piece or throw away something. We launched all this production well in July of 2025, right? And the decision was made in May. Prices went up, it became inconvenient to work, so we said, all right, we'll invest. Investment is more than 5 million, so it was 2 months. Yes, in 2 months we bought everything, then ordered cranes. Now, 14 cranes here, nobody knew how it's done. We just thought we will start doing it and then we will figure it out. You know this feeling, I'm sure, when your inner voice tells you it will work. Yes, I do. Today, there is only one manufacturer of this product in Europe, and we decided to be the second one. The product is called Terrace. We even just make a legend of its meaning. It combines the words light, wind, and technology. So Terrace has a future. It's a very complex product, and the main thing is that it's a smart technology. It can be regulated. What is it? These are side elements for our terraces, so you can install them on the terrace and open and close them instead of French blinds. Yes, without French blinds. Say, we sit and rest here, and if we don't want the clients to see us, we just close it, or if it rains, or if it's sunny, and we want the fresh air, we open. It's very practical. They slide back and forth. The company grows from 3,000 euro to 30 million in 5 years. It's very impressive. Yes, we started as a B2C company. We sold to private clients in the region. When we started to grow as a manufacturer, we decided to redesign ourselves as a B2B company. We are moving towards premium luxury products. These are companies that sell windows, doors, garage doors, and when they say, okay, we get requests for outdoor living products, terraces, carports, cold conservatories, they understand that they can also make money with us, and for this, we help them with marketing strategies, we train their personnel, and of course, we provide a cool product that we manufacture. In other words, they add your products to their catalog as well, yes. And it makes sense that in this case, you don't have to think about how to find the end customer because you have a B2B partner network. Yes, this is one of the options. The second option, as far as I understand, is that you have a B2B partners, and if a person is a self-employed entrepreneur, for example, in fact, if they start the way you did, they don't want to launch their own production, but they want to do sales. This is the second sales team in your business model, right? In my experience, we have companies about 70 or 80 who approached us after watching our success, and about 20% of them are very successful. So one of our viewers can come up to me and say, I want to sell your products, become an entrepreneur and sell your product. You make it, I sell it. That's the logic, right? Yes, and you take over the training so that the person understands how to sell it, and so forth. Yes, we give a recipe of success, as I call it. Basically, it's a very fast onboarding process. Someone comes, they don't know anything, they don't risk anything either, because it's your products. They don't buy them, they just sell them. I think those guys risk more who do not support the company. Well, we support startup companies, even do design their marketing campaigns in their regions. We negotiate with advertising agencies because we have experience. Yes, this is a win-win situation because you are interested in your partners being able to grow faster, developing their skills. I have a partner who came to see my family for Christmas 3 years ago. He didn't have any business plans. I said, let's go together. Today, he is one of our largest B2B partners. He makes millions, literally millions. And your operations are in Germany, of course. Your B2B partners are only in Germany, right? No, not only. We have Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, Switzerland. We have 15 European countries that buy from us and one customer in America. If there is someone who is watching us now from Poland, for example, to work with you, does he go to you directly or Czech Republic? He is from Czech Republic. Does he go to you directly or to find a partner in the Czech Republic? At this point, we would like to make an official representative in every European country. And if you're watching us and if you have ambitions now, so the potential is there for you, we're interested in that. All right, so a person drops by and says, I want to work with you. What happens next? We go through the products, explain the processes to them. We also discuss the scope. We have a very large product palette for different products. I would even say it's the largest in our field. We also provide training about our products, and in the future we will have a whole training center right here where they will teach you fastening, working with control technologies for smart homes, how to connect to electricity, and so on. So that's how it looks like. You don't only teach them about your products, but you also teach them how to sell them. Right? Yes, correct. We teach sales and marketing. So if a person wants to start their own business, if they want to, they will learn how to build a successful business with you. Suppose as an entrepreneur, I sell a product for 10,000 and my own costs are around 6,000, right? And I keep the difference for myself. The same arrangement is for the installation. Is that how it works? Yes. Okay, that's the logic is clear. Guys, in general, the business looks quite attractive if you can make such money with one type of product. How much time does it take to reach a turnover of 10,000 per month? This is a small turnover, but nevertheless, it is literally one object, but you have to sell it, right? This is one object, right? If we take a roof, for example, you won't make as much as for a glazing project. You earn much more there than with one roof. Many are very keen on selling roofs, but the fact is that glazing pays much, much better. Let's take a partner who started working with us and followed the same principle we did. Yes, in 3 years' time, he has grown a lot, and at the moment, he is constructing buildings. The turnover is upward of 8 million in 3 years, yes. So when he came to you, he didn't have a well-known company. He started from scratch? Yes, he started from scratch, and he used the same strategy or adopted the same strategy, and now he has 5 teams and is very successful. Do you have any requirements for your future partner or not? No, there are no requirements as such. Okay, so everyone is eligible. Aren't you concerned that they can follow in your footsteps? They will start with you and then will go to start their own business. I'm not afraid of competition because it's the engine of the market. If someone decides for himself that it's right for him, I always say nature will always run its course, and if they succeed as a manufacturer, I think everybody chooses their own way. Of course, it's a pity. Of course, you need to talk about it. You need to find common ground. I think it's always possible, even later. I understand that if someone becomes a manufacturer, they may put on a product on their own, and they can still sell the rest. When I entered your office, you saw my face. I was like, how is possible? First of all, you don't even notice that this is a storage building, and you make a classic, cozy office out of it without a roof. It was just wow. One can see that you put your soul into it. It's not just some kind of box brimming with people where you don't pay attention to your staff. You only care to have some space of your own, some stylish office for yourself. Can you explain your way of thinking here, your motivation? It's not, it's lots of euros. Yes, today the German industry problem is a long way and complicated decision-making process. We built this office 2.5 years ago. It was not so big investment, and I always needed contact with my personnel, and it was large investment, yes. And then we decided not to make a ceiling. We wanted to make transparent glass walls, and it was very nice. We do this, we don't do this, like decide things quickly, and I believe that this is how it should be, even though this office will soon be converted into the VD Academy, the training center. This building, yes. What is a new project? It will be called VD Forum. It will be right across from us. All in all, today our own 31,000 square meters here. I will give you a quick tour. You will be amazed. We have grown so well in 5 years. Well, I am not boasting it. This is the result that we have lived through every day, and everybody can do it. Every human being can do it. We are all the same. So we will have a VD Forum, a glass building. It will be a prestige project. The first floor is going to be our exhibition. Our B2B partners can bring their private customers here and show it to them. So it's like a showroom. Yes, it's a showroom. You will have a small restaurant. The second floor is going to be our individual offices, and the third floor is going to be the family office, and our finance people will sit there. It's like financial department. They will have how to build a company well, how to have a holding structure, GmbH, leasing, financing, insurance. That's impressive. The taxes, the plan is to have a tax consultant and a lawyer. Already it's on the paper. I don't think everyone else is doing like that. Everybody thinks of aluminium only. So you're doing things like for your partner, your entrepreneur, do not think about other business components. You cover all these ideas for him, accounting, taxes, insurance, what you have to, and then they can completely focus on sales, and that's it. Correct? Yes. Oh my God, this is perfect. We all know what is going on now, how the prices have soared. You started about 5 years ago, before the war, before the energy crisis, before the corona. Yes, 2 months before it broke out. And you experienced it firsthand when the cost of electricity went up in Germany. Yes, I did. How did it affect your business? But you were growing. Yes, there are two things on how to regulate sales and purchasing. I always say that the market regulates the sales, but we regulate the purchasing. I think this was the right direction. We didn't raise prices, but we slowed down on purchasing and focused on the Asian markets, China, India, where everyone, well, not everyone, but many are afraid of going. I think this is what helped us grow. Doesn't your segment depend on the cost of energy? Of course it does. Of course, any kind of manufacturing process, even office work, depends on it to some extent, but nevertheless, the production of pressed aluminium requires very high energy consumption. So if in the past we had aluminium extrusions pressed in Europe, today it's impossible. You become uncompetitive. So we went on to the Asian market. So you transfer the production of components there, and here is the assembly, right? Yes, the processing takes place here. What would be your first 3 advice to aspiring entrepreneurs who want to start a business in Germany? First of all, forget about free time during the first 3 years, about your headaches. If you need to get up at 5, get up at 4 a.m. I think These rules are non-negotiable. I never break them. Okay, this is the first one. What is the second one? Save money for taxes? Yes, sure. And the third one? The third piece of advice? Third, surround yourself with the right people from the very beginning. You mentioned you often ask your friends, fellow entrepreneurs, for advice, but are they willing to give it to you? Yes. No discrimination? I sometimes wonder myself, I have a very good friend of mine. He has a turnover of 3.6 billion. So we sit and talk, and he speaks as if my company makes more than him. And I don't understand why you say that, because he's saying that you're developing so fast that I don't understand that. So he wonders too, I guess. Yes, he finds it interesting. We understand each other instinctively, and we have a lot to talk about. What do you think? What does it take to be on the same wavelength? Performance, provided there is no discrimination. We have just now established that there is no discrimination, absolutely none. Look, guys, you need to remember that they tell you often that we'll never be part of the crowd, that you will never blend it. It's not true. There are many examples, and Victor is one of them. So if you have a result, you are recognized. This is true. Second, you must speak the language fluently, right? You always integrate, yes. So guys, who have just moved here, spend at least 1.5 to 2 years on your German language. It will really pay off. You will be able to connect with people who are very successful here. This is an investment in your future. And what is the third element? You should understand how the Germans think. I have lived here since the 5th grade, and I know how the Germans think, and I speak their language with them. If I talk to you, we speak our language. It's very important. When there is no connection, no understanding at some deeper level, and here even every state has its own identity, so when you start speaking their language, you are accepted. I think it's very important, and no company will ever be successful. I am sure. In the German society, if they don't understand how it thinks and lives. When I hear a funny joke, my wife and I don't have a marriage contract. Everything belongs to her. I have nothing. Why? Because if something happens to this company, you can lose everything if it belongs to you. Everything happens in life. God forbid something happens, you lose everything. They take everything away. And so I pay my wife $1 million a year in rent. This way, I reduce the revenues of the main companies. An interesting system. In 10 years' time, you can sell your new GmbH without taxes to write it off. Okay, where did you learn this knowledge in terms of legal optimization of taxes in Germany? Are there any special courses? No, a tax consultant will never tell you that. That's exactly why I didn't mention a tax consultant. So are there any courses? No, I never had any courses. I just have some people around me that we talk together. Yes, we discussed that. So this is just the environment, the network. Through your network, you learn from the locals, from German, who have been around the block, who know things and are ready to share their knowledge with you, right? We have many partners, so I ask them, what kind of insurance do you have? Yes, I must protect my capital. Today it is easier for me to earn $1 million than to keep it. That's the way things are, even if people don't realize that. Do you have any hobbies, perhaps? What is your hobby? My hobby is riding a bike. I've recently bought one, and you know who keeps me company, my team? With my team, I do it, 6 people, and we took bikes and we ride. Sportive or road bikes? No, it's choppers, yes. And it's cool when we make a stop in the evening and talk about work again. This is a team building. This is already called team building. Okay, no, I just try to break down stereotypes in terms of work. Yes, in terms of work, for many it's just a moment of their existence, and to live it and to get kick of it, it's cool. Especially, I agree with you, when your work is not a burden, but when it belongs to you. I often have a question, what is your biggest investment? For me, the biggest investment is training and educating my employees. I think that even at our Christmas party at work, I wished everyone to learn to rejoice in the achievements of their neighbor at the table. As the top manager of the company, we need to see the potential of our employees and assign them to problems that they cannot solve, and they will solve them, and they will discover something for me and for himself. Sometimes my employees amaze me how cool they become in their business. As an employee of such a rapidly developing company, it is stressful. On the contrary, do you get kick of it? How stressful it is or not? There are two sides, of course. On the one hand, it's very exciting to be part of it, to participate in it, to do it. On the other hand, it's something stressful too. Victor is the engine of our company. We have already talked about this on our podcast. Without him, I think we do have situations when he leaves on business trips, when he's always from the rest of the team, and it shows at once because there is no progress in some areas, and when he comes back, new ideas appear. A lot depends on him in the sense that even if someone put forward new ideas without him, nobody would act on them. He has the last word and says, for example, whether he thinks it's a good idea or not. And if he says that we are going for it, then we do it very quickly. By way of example, that's how we launched the portal for our B2B customers. We decided to do it at 8 o'clock and it was online at 11 o'clock. It's very important for me. Maybe it will sound a little too direct now, or I will be misunderstood, but I believe it's important to change the way of thinking, one's approach to work. The previous podcast was about our employees. Even though he's neither CEO nor the founder, he gives very strong energy. So I asked him about his motivation. So people who watched it, one of them from another company called me afterwards and said, I spoke to my team. To change stereotypes is very, very important to business and to discipline. And in the end of the day, we can talk a lot, but there must be result too. The guests of your podcast, are they only employees or founders and entrepreneurs as well? We will have different kinds of guests, our partners, businessmen from other spheres. We will even have our mayor. The appointment has been made already. Why do you have a podcast? You know, before we used to knock on the door of our company and we used to say, Kalta quiz, yes, cold sales, exactly. At the moment, our podcast, perhaps you'll reach million things and everybody will say, okay guys, I'll put a link to your podcast. Probably you will be able to find something for yourself in those videos and you will learn the company VD AluSystems better. And of course, in our podcast, our main goal is to demonstrate that we're not a conventional company selling some products. We're a company that wants to have stronger partnership and guarantees for tomorrow, guarantees of growing together, of honest and transparent relations. Business is often dirty and sleazy. It's exactly this what we want to do our way. As far as I know, you're planning to hold your first business conference very soon. First business conference, right? Yes, on the 29th of March. How was that idea came to your mind and where it's going to take place? It will be in Ludwigsburg in the Schloss Hotel Mondrepos, an excellent location. I often have a question, how you develop so fast? So you are at the center of everything. Yes, everything is spinning around us and the sun shines brighter above us. So we decided to do it in this format, to learn how to do it. It's for 80 people this time. Yes, we want to test the waters in a small format first. Let's see how we can do it. 80% of these will be our B2B partners, many of whom I don't even know personally. We have 390 companies buying from us today. I know maybe 20-30% of them. I think that 80 seats in a gross underestimation. I think many more people would like to move. I guess. Okay, let's wait for the next. Let's wait for that. All right, guys. Now I will show you the link. If you're interested, maybe you can become a partner, or if you're already a partner, you probably know about this event. But if you're not, it's a great opportunity to come and meet Victor and other guys and to listen to discussions in Russian and then take a decision. Maybe it's going to be a great story for you, a success story. Why not? Yes. You have reached a certain level of income, and this income places you not on the 1%, but a smaller group of people in Germany. In any case, I'm sure that you invest your personal money somewhere. How do you feel about investments? What do you think about it? Healthy investments are always good. I think there is no 100% guarantee today, but as we have discussed before, I'm investing in silver. I see potential there for the next 2 or 3 years, but again, you cannot expect some kind of return in the short term. What about shares, ETFs, real estate, cryptocurrencies? Real estate is the second leg, yes. I started with real estate, that is buying apartments and renting them out. Yes, renting them out. Do you have a management company that does that? Yes, I do. I try not to spread myself too thin. I'm not very strong here. I can understand the profit margin, but the professionals should do that. I started with buying apartments, but now I understand that there is no point in doing that. We build new houses to rent them out. How do you make your income there? Is the income because the price of the flat increases or monthly payments? We are talking about own money, right? Yes. If you do that project privately and you can organize it well, because everything is expensive in Germany and the percentage rate also, but after 10 years time, you can pay 70-60% is paid and you can sell it without tax so far. So for the real estate, it's an opportunity to make profit for them from the increase of its value, right? You get the rents every month, but then you have a loan, so you won't earn much here. Or it's possible to earn something on a monthly basis as well, or how it looks like. You know, it all depends on the project. We have found a very interesting model that is working. It brings 40% per month on top of the loan. Can you share it with us? Yes, we have these two family houses. The investment is 700,000. That's the cost of construction. The land here is not very expensive. The monthly rent is 2,000 for one half of the house. So it's 4,000 for the whole house. Yes, we pay back a loan of 2,500. So it's very nice. Yes, it's very nice. That's great. And the remainder is tax. No, the tax is written off for 30 years, so it's 0 to 0 in the end. How so? That's how the system works. It is written off for 30 years in a row. Do you mean amortization? Yes, amortization. So I'll start paying taxes in 7 or 8 years within reasonable limits. I see. Interesting. Victor, now that you look at everything you have created, your team has created, how do you feel? What is your feeling? I can't even believe that we are an important player in the market today. There was no time to look at it from the outside. Sometimes I drive up to the office on the weekends, or I watch the employees arriving in the morning. I get the shivers. I feel responsible, but my focus has always been on development, not on how cool we are. I am proud of our team and our performance. It's not about the money, but about where our ambitions got us. What is the main thing for you about the company? The products, the team, the market success perhaps? I think the most important thing above all is honesty and the transparent relationships with each other, human relationship. Sometimes I'm not in the mood. My sales manager gives me a call. Vita, what's up? What happened? It's nice, right? It's the first thing. The second thing is good teamwork and professionalism. We're professionals. When someone complains to me that we have a bad employee, I think I have best employees. It's cool. What would you tell them now if they're watching it? Your partners or your employees? My great achievement is that you guys are with me. What are your goals for the next 3 to 5 years? Mischa, I've never set goals for myself because I see them as limitations. We have a very transparent budget for the year 2026. There are 12 million that we will invest. What is the budget for development? This is for development and for construction. We have budgeted 2 million for marketing. This is also very important. Many people say the business is slow, but what have you done to boost it? And then they say nothing. We are waiting for the clients to come. Marketing is very important. These days, everyone is trying to save their money, to keep everything they have earned. This is the most terrible thing. We need to invest. We need to give in order to get something in return. Not everyone is ready for that. I think that if we use this time wisely, this time of uncertainty for some, we will be prepared for better times. We need to get up to 45 million. On this blog, we have a tradition, and these are people who live, most of them live here in Germany, so you have a chance to say something to our viewers. Just a few words, if you can. Hello, everyone. So to be successful, you need to adjust your point of view. You need to look at things from a different angle than the remaining 8.5 million. You need to find a different angle, discover your own potential we often don't know. And of course, Mischa, a huge thanks to you. It was very nice to meet you. It's cool. And to be successful is cool. And to work is also cool. And in Germany it's possible. Yes, in Germany it's possible. This country offers great opportunities. Just do the things right. Be honest with yourself and others. It's important. It's key to success. Maybe not immediately, but in the longer run. All the best to everyone. Thank you very much, guys. I enjoyed our chat. Don't forget to like the video. All the links will be in the description. You can learn more about Victor and his team and his company. Maybe you will want to become their partners or clients. Everything will be in the description. Subscribe to my channel. See you in the next videos and bye-bye.